Kelly's Eye, brought to you by Ellis Brown Architects.
Peter, what's Kelly's Eye looking at today?
Today, David, something I've not seen before. It's a three-legs of man. Well, I've seen plenty of those, but I've not seen this one. It's on what I presume is a concrete plaque, which is now getting splattered with rain. Going around the three legs, which goes the correct way, the kneel way, is a sort of chain link pattern, not your usual interlace.
Sort of interlinking, but not interlacing.
Yes, it's more of a chain, isn't it, than
Yes.
the Celtic interlink.
Yes.
And that's set on a small gablet, which has two plastic windows beneath it, and above it a finial made out of wood, which is again sort of stylised and not a reproduction Victorian turned wood. And that is on a pair of cottages, really, mews cottages, because there's 4 garages here, and then 2 house doors with number 10, number 11, and then all the upstairs windows are dormers.
And then, if we turn around, there are more dwellings.
Yeah, we're surrounded by them. Terraces, 3-storey and 2-storey mixed. There's it's not really a detached one in the corner because it's got 2 garages alongside which link into the next one.
Yeah.
It's a new complex. It's actually been here a couple of years. It's called Africa Court.
Well, it may have been here 2 years, but it's new to me, not having been in this area at all. I mean, it's, I suppose, quite cute might be the word, or cool would be the word the kids would use today.
Well, they probably would. I'd just call it an enclave.
Right.
That would fool them. Yes, where is it? Well, it takes its name Africa Court because it's in behind Africa House. Africa House is on Woodburn Road in Douglas. It was originally called Woodside, had a very large garden. Part of it was sold off and they built the Mormon church on it. But a lot earlier than that, another piece was sold off and the Isle of Man Road Services had it alongside their Homefield garage. And they sort of kept dead buses in it, really. Ones that were beyond repair, but ones that they kept so they could strip bits off. Then Trevor Baines of Africa House bought it and turned it into, well, very much an extension to his... I'll call it a wildlife garden, really. It had a large pool, pond in it. And lots of planting. And then a couple of years ago it was bought by McCards and they've built this enclave. What is interesting when we look around, and this is a Saturday morning fairly early on, there aren't many cars here.
No.
There's car spaces for parking in, so whether they're all up and out early or whether
whether
these garages hide them all, be interested to come around at midnight one night and have a look if we don't upset the neighbours. At the entrance, the sort of gate pillars, they've been modelled on the entrance gate pillars to Africa House itself, but unfortunately the capping on the top is they haven't got the right finish. It's just a slab with a ball on. And the Africa House pillars are not the original. The Africa House pillars were based on pillars in Finch Road from the 1830s houses. So you're sort of getting a degrading as we move down.
It's well laid out and looks very attractive, really, isn't it?
Well, I think the thing about it is I was quite surprised. I mean, I looked at the plans when they were originally published for viewing and thought, oh, they're squeezing them in here a bit. I think actually they did intend to put a couple more in. But when you come in here, it's spacious.
It is.
Although they're terraced and they're sort of forming almost a quadrangle, it doesn't look cramped. And I think that's good.
Now, there are quite a number of places around the town now where buildings, apartments and flats and so on are tucked away out of sight like this, aren't they?
Yeah, in the past it would have been refused for being backland development. But now in behind the Esplanade on the promenade, we must go down there sometime, in Esplanade Lane, where the Jeff Duke had a garage, and there was a butcher's shop and a couple of other garages, mechanical garages. Now suddenly there's Swish apartments.
Yes.
So Douglas is changing.
This is brownfield development, is it?
Well, certainly down there it is. This one you're a little bit hard pushed because there was nothing actually on this site. No, this is greenfield development in the middle of town, and you don't get that very often.
Many of the most iconic buildings around the island have been designed by Ellis Brown Architects. Keep up with Ellis Brown today on Facebook or via ellisbrown.in.